afternoon, everybody. Happy holidays. I'm Travis Copenhagen. This is
Jennifer Dolan.
We're Cannabis Live. Thank you so much for joining us. Today we're going to talk about a couple different topics. We're going to go over this morning's Medical Marijuana Board meeting, talk about some of the statistics, maybe a few trends that we continue to see with the board, have a few news items for you, and then at the end of the show we're going to talk about giving the gift of cannabis for Christmas and the do's and don'ts of how to keep yourself safe if you're going to be engaging with cannabis over the holidays. So we're going to get right into it. Big news this week, President Trump has signed the 2018 Farm Bill, which means that for the first time since, I think, the Controlled Substances Act was drafted, there is now some portion of the cannabis plant that is no longer a Schedule I substance. So we will soon be seeing rules and regulations at the federal level for industrial hemp. We're going to start seeing that roll out. It's going to be about a year while that program is put into place by the USDA, and we'll certainly be following it, but it's great news for cannabis in general, and it's definitely a good sign to see federal law changing. A couple other bills pending. We don't have to go into them in detail, but,
Right. We have a couple of state-specific bills that are pending right now before the legislature. We have seen some progress on House Bill 6500 that would significantly change certain provisions of the MMFLA. Right now that's waiting to be heard by the Senate or to be debated by the Senate. Right now the Michigan legislature is in recess and they'll be getting back to it probably in early to mid-January. So we'll look forward to seeing some changes there, and then of course we'll be reporting on that as well.
Definitely, and some of those bills are pretty exciting. Some are basically changing the definitions of applicants, the thresholds for who has to go through the vetting process. There's ways that they're trying to amend the Tracking Act so that financial institutions can have access to some data and perhaps open up some banking to the industry. The one, I know we talked about the threatening bill that was going to try to amend Prop 1 a couple of weeks ago. While that bill is dead, some of the bills that arguably are going to be really good for this industry, particularly charge forward, and we'll certainly talk about those as they come up. But to start this morning, we had another meeting in December for the Medical Marijuana Licensing Board. So they went through a bunch of applications, and we have some new updated statistics to report for the end of 2018.
Absolutely. So right now we are up to 902 applications for pre-qualification status. So far the board has approved 203, and they've denied 101. So we're doing pretty good so far.
The odds are going up.
The odds are going up. They seem to be moving in the right direction here. I think they're understanding that we are in a moment where we just don't have enough licensed facilities to support a commercial industry, and that's concerning to them. So I think they're starting to move a little bit faster, take more applications per board meeting. If you watch the actual meetings, they're moving exceptionally fast. And some of these, they don't even have discussion yet, but a lot of discussion when they're making their record. So that's kind of a good sign, I think. Some other things of note, they are moving a lot more of their applications to an inactive status. So if you're applying to the state, you want to make sure you're getting back to them timely, because right now they have 51 applications that they moved to inactive, and since last month, since earlier this past month actually, they have actually doubled the number of inactive Step 2 applications. So now they're up to 13 inactive Step 2 applications.
Right. Let's just talk about inactive real quick. So inactive means, there's something Laura is requesting of the applicant, and for whatever reason, maybe a great reason, maybe just a lack of communication, that applicant's unable to provide that information to Laura for their review. So, that doesn't mean that application is necessarily going to be denied. There might, who knows what the reasoning is. But, as Laura's repeatedly reported to us, there's a lot of disclosures required in these applications, and until they receive complete sets of materials, Laura's effectively going to focus on the applications that do have complete sets of materials. So, not to read too far into what's requiring some of these applicants to be inactive, but the remedy for any of those people who, if you have a view on it, is Laura's looking for something and they need to receive it.
Absolutely. Some other small things that they pointed out. We are up to 109 municipalities that have opted into the MMFLA, the most recent being Jackson, I believe.
Yeah, City of Jackson.
Yes.
So congratulations, City of Jackson. Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then they've issued a couple of new bulletins since the last meeting as well. I know that the universal symbol has been updated. They updated their bulletin about like outside visiting qualified patients, so they've added Ohio now to that list. And then they also updated their testing guidelines. A lot of these were the same, but they just updated the rules that they were referring to. So they're getting rid of the emergency rule citations, and now they're adding in the permanent rules. We're going to see a lot of these revised bulletins coming out here probably in the next month or two.
Definitely. We're definitely in a transition period where we were going from emergency sets of rules and those iterations into our now final set of rules. And Jeffrey, I see your comment there. Please let us know if it's not improving for you. It's looking like our settings on our end are good, so hopefully it's working for everybody else. But if you're ever having issues with video audio, thank you for letting us know. We'll try to improve that.
Absolutely. Last thing that I thought was kind of interesting and a great benefit to the people is that the annual report is something that the department provides to the board at the end of every year. And it's something that the Director Briscoe just announced today. Not only has he given that to the board, but he anticipates that he will be issuing that on a quarterly basis now, and they will be making it public and posting it to their website, which I think is wonderful. That gives everybody another level of transparency, and it's really nice to see that coming through from the state level.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Great. So, another active board meeting. One other thing to mention, for the first time, the board did hear the feedback on an appeals process. So we got to, for the first time, kind of see how the board is going to handle a situation like that. Not to go into the details of it, that's between that applicant, we don't really want to call them out or anything. But, the board effectively is going to be receiving, the report from the ALJ, and then, they're going to be discussing it, and they're going to do one of three things. They're either going to accept the recommendation of the ALJ, they're going to, have an additional new discussion to flesh out, whatever their situation is, and then they're either going to, decide to accept that application's appeal or, continue to deny it either for the same reason or for new reason. So I'm sure we'll see more of those. Given the timeline, this applicant was probably one of the first to have an opportunity to appeal, so there's probably going to be quite a few more appeals showing up on the agenda over the next few months.
Absolutely.
So,
a few last minor things that we started seeing more of today is personal and business probity. If there's issues with capitalization, where they're wondering if you have actually 25% liquid funds available to support the capitalization of your application, we're seeing denials for that. We're seeing denials again for caregivers. If it's raising a red flag with the state, we have to be careful on how we're displaying. So,
and just to be clear, not because you were a caregiver, but because of information that was disclosed in conjunction with the fact that you're actually a caregiver. So don't get the impression that just being a caregiver gets you denied. We don't really know what the facts or details of that application, but there was cause for concern given I believe, primarily financial information being disclosed and assumption that some of that might have been conduct outside of the caregiver's restrictions. So, a couple other items to note. This was the first meeting the board received actual recommendations in their report from Mara. Over the last few months, for a while the board would just get a raw set of data and had to parse through it and come to their conclusion themselves. Then they moved to request basically a summary and report of just the financial aspects of the applications. And then today and moving forward, Laura is now providing the board, an overall set of conclusions and recommendations for the board. And I think we're seeing that kind of reflected in some of the motions the various board members are making, especially in a denial situation. Their motions are much more fleshed out, much more useful to whoever that applicant happens to be, so they actually know why they're being denied. So.
And that's going to make the record a lot easier for in the case of an appeal. So any additional information that we can garner from the board, I think is a wonderful move in the right direction.
Right, and love it or hate it, for better or worse, always remember the state of Michigan is doing this for the first time. They are figuring out what works and what doesn't. They are trying to improve along the way, and that isn't necessarily fair if you were caught in an unfortunate set of circumstances. But as we move forward, based on what I saw this morning, it looks like this is going to be overall a significant improvement. So.
Agreed.
All right. Well, let's get into the more fun topic then. So it is Christmas this coming Tuesday, I guess, but effectively this weekend. I expect a lot of people are coming into the state for the holidays to see their family. I'm sure, at least if you are a cannabis fan, there's going to be some questions about, well, where do I get it? How do I get some? What can I do with it? How do I stay safe? Well, first of all, cannabis is legal in Michigan now for individuals. That does not mean we have a commercial set of stores that you can go buy from. So we're going to talk a little bit about, effectively, in the spirit of Christmas, giving a gift, and if that gift happens to be cannabis, some things you might want to know about it. So first, effectively, what can you do?
Well, you can certainly gift cannabis, but you have to make sure that, of course, you're keeping it below the possession limits. So less than 2.5 ounces. You can't be gifting, like 10 ounces to somebody just off the bat. It has to be under 2.5. And please make sure that it's an adult that you're gifting it to. It has to be over 21, not 18. Can't be, somebody home from college in their freshman year. It has to be somebody 21 and older. Okay? Yeah. So those are the two main points. Obviously, if somebody is going to be flying home, they can't take it across state lines. You can't ship it across state lines. Don't put it in the mail to somebody. So those are the basics.
Yeah. So if you lawfully have marijuana in your possession, there's a lot of ways to do that in Michigan. You could be a patient. You could be a caregiver. I don't know how quickly you were able to pull this off, but you're allowed to legally grow 12 plants of your own. So there are legal ways for individuals to have cannabis in our state right now. Those people could, in theory, gift cannabis to their family and colleagues and associates. As Jennifer mentioned, there's a limitation on that. If you're doing some sort of concentration, just remember it's 2.5 ounces of flour or 15 grams of a concentrate in some form or another. In addition to this only being for adults, there is, and I've seen a lot of news stories on this recently, there's some confusion about what a gift is. You're not allowed to seek remuneration for the transfer of marijuana. If you're going to make money, and I don't care how creative you get, you need a license to do that, and no one has a license to do that yet. So unless you're a caregiver, seeking remuneration for giving medical cannabis to your card-connected patient, any other transfer of marijuana right now, while it might be legal, cannot be for profit, cannot be for reimbursement. So effectively, there are additional limitations on that as well. So we know we can give anyone 2.5 ounces of marijuana. I can give Jennifer right now marijuana. Completely legal, we can do it on camera, it would not be a problem. Maybe for the federal government, but in the state of Michigan. But there's additional restrictions on that. So you cannot advertise that you have the gift of marijuana. And beyond that, not only can you not advertise, we can argue about what is and isn't an advertisement, you cannot promote to the public that you're giving the gift of marijuana. So you're seeing, and I'm not going to call out any specific businesses, but you're hearing people, come up with, loopholes. Well, what if I sell someone a coffee cup? I just happen to give them a gift of cannabis. What if I'm selling some other product and, I let them know, like, hey, if you buy this, I'll give you some cannabis. That's not going to fly, right? Effectively, if the only reason you're getting cannabis is because you paid some money for it, you're likely not going to be protected by Proposal 1's rules. The intention of this restriction is for you to share, not be paid for, but share with your friends, colleagues, and associates, right? Friends and family. So while you might not personally be able to get cannabis yourself, you might be able to go find someone who has it legally, and they can gift it to you. Anything beyond that, get as creative as you want, it's very unlikely that's going to fly. So, I encourage cannabis fans to give the gift of cannabis safely, but don't try to push these boundaries yet, because it's very likely that you might get punished and stuff. So, in the spirit of the holidays, cannabis gifts definitely, as far as I'm concerned, encouraged, but be very safe about it. I'd hate for your holiday to be ruined because something unfortunately happens and it wasn't exactly a gift, or you might have been on, Facebook page or a website saying like, hey, look what kind of gift I'm giving away. So we're probably going to keep it pretty short. It is, the last day before our Christmas break on our end here. But we wanted to wish everyone a happy holidays. So from the Cannabis Legal Group, from Travis and
Jennifer and the rest of the team.
Happy holidays. We will be here next week for a special New Year's show, probably next Friday, so we're not going anywhere. But thank you so much for joining us today. Happy holidays, everyone.